over-under win totals have been released. The old Vegas out there trying to build more casinos and make money off y'all. It should be of no surprise. The defending world champion Oklahoma City Thunder, they have an over-under win total of 62.5.
Insane number.
That is 7 better than the Cleveland Cavaliers.
62.5 is an insane number.
Yeah.
Especially coming off a title, typically you go, okay, we did the thing where we won a lot of regular season games. It was great being number one. We need to pace ourselves. Like that's what every team does.
Well,
in those instances,
especially when the Rockets get Kevin Durant, and Clint Capella,
and the West just
and
deeper.
They get Dorian Finney-Smith, who just signed with the Rockets today. Yeah, they're getting better, and you're not going to rely on injuries absolutely depleting the Denver Nuggets again. Well, actually, you just might want to start banking on that one to happen. But
or that they might lose a backup center.
They are the far and away leaders with 62.5. The Portland Trailblazers, the hometown team, they are 10 better than their preseason over-under win total a year ago. Last year, they opened at 22.5 wins. They finished with 36 wins on the dot. They didn't get a half win or a loss. But this year, the Blazers win total, they open at 32.5. 10 better than last year. That puts them sixth worst win total in the NBA. They're tied with Toronto, New Orleans, and Chicago, all at 32.5. The only teams that are worse are the Phoenix Suns, 31.5. Charlotte Hornets, 25.5. Brooklyn Nets, 21.5. The Washington Wizards at 19.5. And then the Utah Jazz at 18.5. Woof.
Yeah, they're looking at this as there are three, no doubt, these teams suck alliance. Like the Jazz, they made a trade today that sent John Collins out. They sent out Colin Sexton. They sent out Jordan Clarkson. They are sending out anybody who has any viable production not named Lauri Markkanen or Walker Kessler.
Yeah. They took their depth that was like, they might sneak up and win some. Nope, not anymore.
Nope.
Not anymore.
And if you watched Ace Bailey play this weekend, you're sitting there going, yeah, they're going to be bad.
3 of 13.
Yeah.
And how much did that have to do with his agent's son not being on the bench?
We'll get to that. That's, ugh. But looking at this line, the only ones that I'm really arguing, number one, if you're asking me, putting a gun to my head, if I'm going to take the over, the under, I'm taking the over on the Blazers at 32.5. I think they're probably closer to winning the same amount of games as they won last year. They just won't be god awful for the first 2.5, 3 months of the season, and they won't have the same kind of holy crap tear that they went on. I think it'll just be more balanced over the season.
Yeah, scoring still concerning.
But when you've got baseline defense, the Rockets couldn't score to save their lives. The Magic couldn't score to save their lives. Like if you were a team that's like teams are coming in, especially when you're playing at home, that you come into their house, they're just like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah,
like that usually juices the win totals a little bit. I'm surprised the Pelicans are here, to be honest. I definitely would have put them lower.
Yeah, and this was interesting to me is that, you were talking to Bill Simmons has his GMs, what the hell are they doing? In Chicago and New Orleans were on that list. And then you mentioned Toronto. They're all in the same win total right on the dot as the Portland Trailblazers are right now.
And for the Pelicans, it makes a little bit of sense that where they're at because they're in the Western Conference and win totals are going to be depressed. If you're only winning 32.5 in that East, I mean, that's nasty. I mean, if you look at the West, the only teams that the Blazers are better than are the Jazz, and they're tied with the Suns and or the Jazz and the Suns, and then tied with the Pelicans.
Yeah,
I would put both the Pelicans and the Kings under the Blazers.
Yeah.
The Kings have talent, but it's talent that makes absolutely no sense.
Kings are at 38.5.
No way is that team coming close to 500.
Wow.
It's just the dysfunction and disorganization. Like right now, who's their point guard? DeMar? They're going to run point DeMar like he was in San Antonio? Okay.
Sure.
Like Sabonis has got to be sitting there going, what the hell is going on here? Like they're like the team that's pushing the hardest for Jonathan Kuminga. And when they're quote unquote pushing the hardest, they're not offering much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that Kuminga's agency is putting out there of like, no, people are really interested. All of the folks that I've talked to have said that.
Dennis Schroeder, their point guard?
Is he starting though? because you've got Levine, you've got DeMar,
Malik Monk.
Monk's a guy that they're trying to ship out.
Well,
so yeah, it's
I don't know. They got guys who can score some points.
they
though.
have talent, but its talent doesn't make any sense together at all. And in the West, it's like, ugh, I don't know, man. If you want to put the Blazers in the same line, you want to both say they're 35.5. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I think that there's the Blazers are going to be going into the season as it stands right now, clearly better than Phoenix, Utah, Sacramento. If you want to put them on the same line, and New Orleans for sure. New Orleans. You want to talk about the Blazers not being able to score? New Orleans can't defend anyone. It was like, well, they got Trey and they've got Herb, and I'm just like, they have Zion and Derek Queen and a rookie point guard.
Yeah.
That is,
see ya,
buddy. Zion and Queen, you might as well just put 2 traffic cones at the top of the free throw line.
Lay defense there.
Oh my God.
Blazers will be very good defensively, but I think that 32.5 is wholly fixated on the Blazers don't have scorers.
No, 100%. I'm there with you. But I again, gun to my head, where last year I didn't think they were going to reach their win total because I was like, how is this going to work? This year, I'm more bullish on the over.
Without their best scorer and best big. Yeah.
As weird as that sounds, because I think what they're doing is they're leaning into that. You know what this also shows? They're not in win now mode.
Sure does. The third worst over-under opening win total line in the Western Conference. Portland Trail Blazers tied with the New Orleans Pelicans for third worst. Suns 31.5. They think they'll be 1 game worse, and the Utah Jazz 18.5. That is very, very, very low. That is process 76ers low.
Yeah, no, it's
not quite that bad.
Look, but the Utah Jazz. For those that don't know, Danny Ainge, Ryan Smith have made a sizable donation to BYU. AJ DeBonsa, who is right now considered to be either the 2nd or 3rd overall pick in the 2026 NBA draft, is going to BYU.
Hey, all right.
Just a total coincidence.
Well,
remember, they weren't tanking.
They weren't tanking.
Now they are tanking.
They're going to be bad. All right. Well, with this said, the Blazers are at 32.5. This is probably a year where you don't want to win now, too, because of the draft class is pretty deep. It doesn't have a Cooper Flag, right? Not the generational talent, but really damn good players in the 26th draft. Are we looking at this team then maybe staying more idle the rest of the way this offseason, or are they going to try and get somebody who can score baskets?
That remains to be seen.
Man.
I was talking to a few national reporters at the 4-Letter Network, and I was like, hey, things have been pretty quiet out here, and the transactions they've done have all been pretty quiet. Have you guys heard anything? And they all said some version of the same thing, like, not a peep. Everything they have done has been in silence. Like, not even from the teams that they have worked with, whether it was Boston on Giroux or with DA's agent Bill Duffy as part of the buyout. Like,
you know what? I like that.
They are. I mean, the Young Hansen pick, like
the draft.
No, like
any of it has been very quiet. Cloak and dagger.
Givany and Wu have been nails on Portland's picks for years, even before Schmitz. And then with Mike being there, obviously Givany has a very good relationship with Mike, and nothing, no one, not a soul, not a peep, no one saw that coming. So as far as that kind of stuff, like, I don't think the Blazers are in a hurry to move Jeremy Grant. I think that they're looking out at the market right now and assessing what guys are going for and what they're not going for, and they're not just going to do a deal just to do a deal.
Okay.
And this is why I've been trying to say that they are not in win now mode for anything.
Yeah. And again, they set their expectations that people glommed onto at the
I think Chauncey misspoke,
season.
just like Joe did when he talked about building around Dame. I think that was this thing where, like, you're doing the thing where, like, puff your chest out. I got a new contract. You say all the things that you say when you get a new contract. Like, we're doing the right thing. And you pull that back a little bit.
Rein it in a little bit. Well, as of right now, it doesn't appear, because nobody's hearing anything. And I like that. I think that is what smart front offices do, is the less people that are in the loop, the better off you are.
Yeah, under Neil, it was out there.
With this, now you better capitalize on it soon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, if you're doing the DA buyout, you're doing the Drew trade, and you're drafting Young, you need, make no bones about it. They need somebody who can shoot the damn ball. Like they need a shooter on this roster. And I know everyone and their mom who's a Blazers fan is like, what about Corey Kispert? Look, if they went and got Corey Kispert, like let's say the 2 second-round picks that they got back out of that deal from Giroux and the 2 second-round picks that they got in the other transaction, like you want to give up 3 second-round picks for Corey Kispert? With that buyout of DA, you have access to full MLE. You can send those picks, not send a player out, put Kispert right into it. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, and I think that where the concerning part is, if for fans, is you don't have a score now.
Mm-hmm.
If it's going to be a down year this next year, then you're getting a high draft pick again.
In a draft that is loaded to the gills.
But that guy, we know with rookies, that guy will not be the bearer of a scoring load immediately.
Nope.
So how far away is this thing? Like, that's a legitimate question that I think Blazer fans have. And because you're going, all right, how many more years are we going to have to go through this? Because this is not a fan base that is used to losing, especially at this clip and at this level. And they've wanted so desperately to glom onto guys like, hey, Ant's going to turn the corner. He's going to do it. It's going to pop. And then they're trading him at 26 years old, right? Now it's like Shaedon Sharpe. He could do it. He might be the guy that pops. And they're going to glom onto that. If it doesn't happen this year, they're going to lose their damn patience. And that's where this is going to be
this is
an interesting part of the rebuild.
It's not make or break, but there's definitely some make or break to Shaedon and Scoot this year.
Yes, there absolutely is.
There's no, what about this and what about that? It's like, nope, it's contract time, guys. And I'll tell you right now, if Shaedon Sharpe and his agent are smart, they look to get something done ahead of time, because the life of a restricted free agent right now is hell.
Not good, Bob.
Nobody, not Kuminga, nobody, not Cam Thomas, no one is getting paid.